Because the marital home is often the largest asset in the divorce, it naturally becomes an important issue. Whether you, your spouse, or neither of you end up with the house is governed by many factors. In Missouri, the law recognizes two types of property, separate and marital. Separate property is the property of one spouse obtained prior to the marriage. Marital property is property both spouses obtained during the marriage. Sometimes a party can convert separate property to marital property by, for example, titling a house purchased prior to the marriage jointly in the names of both parties. One significant challenge in dividing property is untangling commingled property. If the marital home was purchased by one spouse prior to the marriage and never converted to joint ownership, the marital home remains the separate property of the purchasing spouse. However, any contributions made to the maintenance and upkeep of the home, any home improvements, and the payments of the mortgage that were made by the non-purchasing spouse would be considered an asset subject to division. If the marital home was converted to marital property during the marriage or purchased during the marriage, untangling ownership becomes even more difficult as the parties try to justify their individual contributions and quantify them in a dollar amount. If the parties have children who have been in the marital home for some time, the court may consider that the home follow the children. If the parties find that neither can maintain the mortgage on the home alone nor secure a refinance, the court may have no choice but to order the sale of the home. Whichever option the court chooses, the court will have to assign specific financial shares in the value of the home to each party as it attempts to structure an equitable division of the marital property. In making such a division, the court considers the economic circumstances of each party at the time of the divorce, the contribution of each spouse to the marital home, the value of the separate property of each spouse, the conduct of the parties during the marriage, and the custodial arrangements for the children.